Can't believe I missed a prompt like that. Heh. Looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on that girl. Actually, no, I don't want that. I want... Where did they put... Oh. I don't get... I just go into evidence. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. I think you still have to hold on to evidence for a while. I mean, I know that you may have to, like, I don't know if there's a certain amount of time if they have to hold it for, like, 12 years before they can get rid of it and stuff. But, I mean, they already did have lockdown, because I know, like, on, like, prescriptions, for example, like, when you go in, you get your pills and everything, I know that I work in a pharmacy, so I know that you have to hold that for so many years after the fact, even though there's nothing to fill, they've already gotten their pills, they're done, you've got to hold it for record keeping. So it's probably the same thing, that it was still evidence in that case and they still have to hold on to it for a while. But I'm not a police officer, so I don't know. Can I examine the door? Heaven's room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha! The card reader's turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, what's made my Bombina sky so gray? Officer Marshall. Why does it have to be him? What's that? Why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw, that card you got there on your chest. That is better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies, the crime scene's awaiting. So the card reader's on again. Over here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then. Did I say that? I almost said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us, hombres. I just want to talk, but we can't present it with food. Well, I'm assuming what they were trying to... I'm thinking that this guy, the lunch lady, and the guy who was actually killed, who had that murder case, got someone killed, it was based on what the prosecutors fabricated evidence or whatever, got him in trouble, so I think they're trying to get revenge on the prosecutors. It's just unfortunate he died. But, So, here's your sandwich, sir. That smell. Reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas. No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yeah, Miss Starr. What's this? What? What's wrong? Filet steak lunch. I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall. All right, Bambina, you win. Ask for lunch, anything for smack. Finally, it seems like. He's willing to talk. Guard station. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job. I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy. Poor guy keep getting his name wrong, calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago. See? Anger right there. Well, it might not look like it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. No, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take the machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know. Right. Steamed broccoli. It's the enemy. Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. Well, it was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There's some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. Oh, it's past the statute of limitations, eh? Here's the day of our case. That's right. The evidence transferals. I was talking about the transferals too. I know maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The best ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. Nothing happens, tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins, Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. Wait, nobody looked? Nobody checked? Nothing? You're the security guard, and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. Does the card reader by the door? Card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. This is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. There's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. Transferal. Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective supervision for 2 years. There it is. 2 years they keep the stuff. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the country sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. I see now. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. Alright. Well, let's go into the evidence room and have a little peek. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Eek. Whoa. Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true what I heard? Fredo, please, do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, could I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So Police Chief Gatt. Will loan anyone $50? Even me? Oh, so that's what you're talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief. So now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Thank you. Scene of the stabbing of the detective. Okay. Just a second before we go camera on. Wow, that's great having my evidence. Look at how great that's crime solving. You know, we're gonna come back and talk to you in just a second. Why do we have a car door with handcuffs? Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner. That looks like a car door. There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away? Yeah, it's one of those human profiles for range testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence for some case. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal. Making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was open recently. How do you know? If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. Guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence? Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. But he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either. You're gonna talk behind someone's back. Don't do it right in front of them, pal. This place is stuffed with evidence, stuffed with dreams. I'm not so sure about the dreams. It won't open. Did you really think it would? Hey, pal, our security's high-tech around here. What sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here? What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is. Ah, that's my personal pole. I never did get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that somewhere before. We used that metal detector. Right, pal, that's the metal detector. The one that led to the solving of the case out on Gourd Lake, remember? Oh, right, wow, that feels like it was ages ago. And, I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it will come in handy in solving some case sooner or later. A cheap-looking box? Can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart. Okay, we're gonna slide. Okay, I wasn't expecting all that. We're gonna start with the unobvious stuff and of course work towards the obvious stuff. What is the saw and paint doing here? Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression. True art? I've noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger? Well, you might say this is my studio. Here, in the evidence room. Work our way around to the... Oh my gosh, is that blood? What's this? Blood? It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other blood stains left in the room? We should use our testing fluid to check it out. We will. Don't worry, don't panic. Wow, someone must have broken something big that made all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from The Case. The Case? The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of those pieces there? Another piece of SL9 evidence. Take a closer look. wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. You want to try to put it back together? Ha! Good luck, pal. It's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. This piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Oh. Okay, so... Okay. Okay, so that rotates that, but I don't... Okay, so I don't get to rotate this. I just rotate around. I'm trying to find a piece that fits in. Combine. Gotta love DS games that you're playing on a computer. Rotate left. That looks good. It's not that piece. Not that one either. That looks good. Hard to tell how high up this thing goes. I don't think it's that piece. No, not that. I think that goes on the other side of it, so it's probably this. Because, yeah, that's where I thought that piece went. That seemed... Yeah, it looks to be a vase. Or something. Vasey. Piece goes up there. This goes on the bloodstained side. We're missing a piece. Could be an urn. Kind of weird. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I kind of understand how it got broken. Stable jar. Jar pieced back together from fragments found at the crime scene. A piece is missing. Just a piece is missing, not pieces. Just a piece. Yeah, it's... Put these pieces together, it makes a jar. There are two things that bother me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable? No wonder it broke. I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar. Look, this one's open. The red indicator light above the door is lit. That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker. Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty. You must have taken the contents elsewhere. A glove. Oh my gosh, it's got the same thing. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal. Making me out to some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know. You mean SL9. It does have a tag on it. Rubber glove added to the court record. Okay, I don't think we have anything else except for spraying time. Oh my gosh, that hand is blood. Ooh, that's a lot. Like a lot of them. That must have been one mass pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. Not a professional. What's your opinion, Detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien. This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you should have asked. I mean, that's... Okay, I do have to spray the hand more. Yeah, it's... Oh my gosh, a bloody handprint. I knew it! This is someone's right handprint. I didn't need the luminol for that, but thanks. What? What's the matter, Detective? This locker. It's mine. It's yours. Please. You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective. You are the police. Okay, we're gonna slide over. We're gonna spray over here. Let's call it as we see it, right? Aha! Wonder if there's gonna be a handprint there. He's a great detective in his own special way. Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. It just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What, this? It's called luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief. Where do you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Well, I'd better jot this down on the floor plans. I doubt there's gonna be more blood, but... Oh, I can't go around the text box. Interesting. Can I examine this locker? I did examine that locker, so nothing else there. Can I talk to you about anything else? Boss for a day. Oh, Detective Gumshoe, your boss for the day. That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. I'm my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe. Haha, of course. I am a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open? Yeah. We did find your locker, remember? There's blood on it. Do we ignore all that? No, maybe, kind of. I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee round, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about that case. Evidence lockers. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. I'm on my third card since entering the force already. That's That's what you want to admit. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand.
Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint?
Exactly, pal. And the lock for each locker is coated with a fingerprint. So the only locker we could open is our own.
Funny, they look like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see?
The handles?
On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it,
Bzz, you get a shock.
if that's what happens, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
Only assigned detective prints can unlock it. Indicator lamp lights. So, hold on. I'm just gonna go slide over here. Now, oh, you closed it. Okay. Is there anything I want to present to you? See, I feel like maybe I... I don't know if there's more I need to peg him for. I don't actually know if I can, I can try, but I don't believe so. Usually the only thing I've ever been able to use outside of this has been, well, technically I can check this in the meantime. The only thing I've ever been able to use outside of, my menu is the luminol. I've never been able to use items outside. Text says SL911. I guess there's another piece of evidence from that case. You know, I never did care for the word tag. It's confusing. Huh? What's so confusing about that? Do you know how many other words sound like it? Bag, gag, nag, lag, zag. Zag? Is that a word? Do you challenge me? What? Are we playing a word game now? So I feel like probably it's like, it's the enforced part. I was thinking that maybe fingerprints, but they really don't let you use stuff outside of... But I can check this. Forgot I supposed to check these. They didn't have this in the other cases. It's like new to this. Hey, look. They're hard to make out, but there are some dark red stains here. Looks like blood. Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed? Not likely. This blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. There was evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be when the blood got on it. I don't think I ever... Yeah, can't even check that. Blood, blood, blood. So maybe I can slide back. Look at that. Can I present to you this?
Allow me to say one thing, speaking as a detective. If I see a piece of evidence I know nothing about, I say nothing.
That's fine.
You bet it's fine, pal.
Okay, you know nothing about that. Do you know anything about this?
That's the victim, Detective Goodman's ID card. These days, everything, cards and secret numbers, I can never relax.
It's only because you always lose your card.
I always forget my secret number too. Scary, huh? My face should be ID enough. What's the word coming to?
Get to gumshoe, rebel against the system. Yeah, there's nothing to talk about unless... Can I present, like, the glove to you and stuff? Yeah, you don't know. Okay, so... I must be... You know about the case, so can you tell me anything about this?
The sheriff's back in the Wild West didn't place much faith in evidence, but the only thing they trusted was their shooting hand.
This is neither Wild nor West here.
Aha, but those are two different things entirely.
I guess so? Huh. I'm lost. Looks like we need some evidence to get anywhere with this guy. Oh. That didn't help. How about that? Nope, that didn't help either. Can I show you where the blood is? No. This is where I'm running into, yeah. Or when they said the evidence room, can I show you this card? Was that the thing she saw on the list? Oh, that was my bad. See this? This is the victim's ID card.
Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this is
5842189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. "5:14 p.m. Look, the fourth number, it's a perfect match. We used it at 5:14, right before the stabbing.
What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world.
So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekin say?
Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card.
So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do?
That's the thing, suddenly he pointed a knife at me.
He had his ID card then. Why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekin? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Wait, is there any talking I can do with you? Okay, what we want to now do is go into the evidence room and show this to our other favorite officer. Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing.
I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa.
What is it?
That second number.
It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe?
Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth.
What? What? Updated court record. Oh my goodness, that is probably not a good thing. Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Maybe there's a good reason? You have nothing else to say on that? Just... So is there... I still want to know who's all these sevens, but I don't know what I'm supposed to now do with it. Okay, I guess we're done with you. I mean, you wouldn't have an IT card. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get any more slots on that, but... Nope. There's gotta be something we're missing. Detention center? Can I present this to you? Officer Wiggins, could you take a look at this?
I'm sorry, sir. Really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. Maybe you should ask Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
He's passing the buck, Mr. Wright. Takes a special kind of man to pass the buck to Edgeworth. Okay. You got nothing. The thing is, I can't actually find him. That must be one of the detectives. He smelled like something to himself.
I know, the killer used a cassette tape. What a crafty trick. That gunshot was a fake.
It's good. No one will expect a cassette tape in this day and age. He's not ready to get... Okay, so I've got to be missing something in this area. Usually when they have 4 chats, they're done. You're missing one, to my knowledge, so Gumshoe's got to be missing something. Right? Wait, can I present this to you? Did I present this to you?
Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day.
Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course, pal.
Got an award for diligence myself. Yeah, I did ask you about that. Dang it. Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you later. Yeah, he doesn't speak on it because he doesn't know anything about it. Do you know anything about this? Because of the SL9 connection?
That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared.
Why would evidence from that case turn up now?
I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case.
That didn't help. I did show him the ID card record because he managed to fill in Edgeworth there, but I feel like I'm missing a thing. So it's kind of... I feel like I'm missing something with someone to trigger, I'm assuming, the next part, which would be talking to the prosecutor about his record card. You know? Oh, there we go. There's the prompt. SL9 incident. There we go.
Now that was a bloody violent case.
Violent? So it was a murder.
A serial killing.
Serial killing. Yeah, I don't want to get involved in this after all.
But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him.
Apparently that was the trigger that got it. And this was 2 years ago.
That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight. It started the rumor mill.
Rumors about forged evidence.
It was supposed to be all cleared up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Huh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see?
There we go. So that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself.
Hey, pal, look at the time.
Was there something you needed to be going to?
It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm gonna go give them my report for the day. It might help,
Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer?
The one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him.
Who needs enemies when you got friends like Detective Gumshoe?
I'm off, pal. Later.
There we go. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. There we go. Now we're moving forward. Now we can go see Edgeworth, because he wasn't at his office yet, which meant I was missing something. Which I can't get to him from here, so underground parking lot. Now it should give us the... There we go. Okay, now we're making progress. We're making progress now. What? Oh, Gus, my apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. We met you in cases earlier? You forget us? Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. How did we miss Edgeworth in this room? Right. Has the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecution's office inquiry. I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think it was trying to console me somehow. The real info was on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. Well, let's get the first talk out of the way with him, and then we'll hit him with stuff. So how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Tomorrow's trial. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney, however. Something happened? They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the chief police guard. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I asked you why. All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still, wow, I've never seen him less out of sorts. Okay, we're gonna present some stuff to you. And hopefully it doesn't make you lose your marbles. Alright, I better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less.
Yes, that's true.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less. The Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The Chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case.
Better make a note of it.
Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's brought back to his office by Gant's request. Stubborn as always, I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. I mean, I feel like it probably does. So... Who's gotta... Do you have more to talk? No, there's gotta be more with you. Can I ask you about this? Because it's related to that case from forever ago? I know you. You've probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You were the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. Must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Allegations of forgery. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time. Damon Gant. Really? That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too then. Oh man, this is just starting to stink. Like, pretty badly stink. He was a top officer and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is, why was the deputy chief of police on the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't? Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister, what? If you were still studying forensic science. Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid, Well then, you might have use for this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints? It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and those fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Now we can fingerprint things. Still need a black light. I don't know if you want to use a black light. I don't think there's ever been a good time to use a black light, ever. Like, ever. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. I mean, yeah. We've seen numerous handprints. It shows everything. So, what we need to do now is go back to the evidence room because there's lots of stuff in there. This is really painful to do. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, in this blood on the detective's evidence locker. This uses a secret weapon we just borrowed. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print. Really can't tell the difference at a glance. Maybe this one? With the most blood? Procrastinating and choose a finger. Like, oh come on, you're not gonna pick the pinky. You're clearly gonna be boop. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh, how did you do that? With enter. See? Ah, it looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? With E. Because those keys are so close on the keyboard. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See? Wow, that looks like fun. Might take some getting used to, though. It's fine, it won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. I guess I'd better give it a try. Ha! You did it! You found one. This is an awful looking fingerprint. But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. There's one over there. Seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood. Like this one here. Blow. Holy Toledos. Should we Get a nice covering there. Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling. No, you'd leave a fingerprint inside the glove, but it'd be a smudgy one. But anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Yeah, a lot. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet. This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. And point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it is? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would we most likely find in the evidence locker? Our favorite detective? Yeah. Holy moly, was it Dick Gumshoe? Oh my gosh! Dick Gumshoe's fingerprints are on his locker. Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe, surprising no one. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what? Okay, so we come up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Check. Oh, okay, that is not quite what I was looking for. No. How do I trigger there? Right there, right? This is where we got a luminol fluid reaction, right? Right! There was a handprint here. Okay, want to try using this? There go our sparkling again. Check for prints. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Not sure what they're wanting me to go for here. Oh, hey, never mind. I totally know what I'm doing. Should we coat this like a son of a gun? You gotta be kidding me. Give it my best shot. That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it? But it doesn't look like we'll get a clear result from this print. Okay, let's try a different finger then. Oh, I get it. So, thumb? So, I get you. I understand what they're going for. So there's the bloody fingerprints, but we want the other things that didn't have bloody fingerprints. Boosh. Got it. Well, nope. Nope. Yup. Jake Marshall, eh? That's why he didn't show the ID card, eh, boy? Hey, these fingerprints, Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. They're all in cahoots. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall. Marshall's fingerprints added to the court record. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma. This is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. It wasn't on the highway? Thinking not. Luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints. And a wiped blood stain. I'm starting to think they are all in cahoots on this one. Oh no. But why would Officer Marshall? Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Well, you better. Oh no. We're going to court, probably.